Welcome back to House 17. Today, we're going to talk about the stress of right now. These are chaotic times. With so much changing and forcing us to adapt, it can be stressful on top of everything else that we do.
Talking to your kids about the stress of these times can be difficult, and they may seem resistant to talking about it at first. But today we have some tips for talking to your kids about stress and loss.
We often want to know where our kids are at and how they're handling stressful situations. We often try to do this by simply asking, Martha, how are you doing with everything right now?
Oh, just fine. Oftentimes, it can be hard to get a real or genuine answer from your kids when asking them directly how they are. Depending on the topic, your kids may have questions unanswered, a hard time expressing how they're feeling, or worried about being a bother to their families.
The things you talk about with your children will depend on their age, their interest, their readiness, and your relationship with them. The depth on topics such as racism, coronavirus, or mental health will shift depending on these factors. And remember, it's okay to say you don't know.
It can be hard to know when the right time is, but a good rule of thumb is to try to get your child to lead the conversation. The questions they ask can guide how much depth you bring to the conversation, and the more you listen, the easier it will be for them to talk about how they're doing and what they're feeling.
Well, so just listen to our kids and it'll be good, right?
Well, not exactly. Depending on your child's age, we may have to structure the conversation more. Or if they're a preteen or teenager, it might be a feat to get them to talk at all.
Did you say something?
It may be good to make sure that you have their attention. Getting as many distractions away, like cell phones, can be helpful, and picking times to talk where they're less likely to get distracted, such as taking a walk together or driving somewhere in the car.
You may also give some direction to a topic you know is important. Giving your kids the basic facts about the stressful situations we're in can be a good starter to hear if they have any questions, or sharing your own feelings to see if that helps them talk about theirs. Depending on the topic, listening to a book, a podcast, or a song together with similar themes can help start the conversation. This is where language can be so important, and being as straightforward and honest as you can will make for an easier start in the conversation.
Once you have them talking, like we said, listen and show them that you're listening. It can be tempting to jump in with a suggestion, to fill in their words for them, or to ask a question. All of these things can get in the
In
way.
the way of good communication, exactly, Martha.
Right. Interruptions can make it hard for your kids to share, which can make it difficult for them to talk about their feelings.
Good listening isn't always about being quiet, but also about responding in a way that indicates you're listening. We all know how good it feels when we feel heard, and that helps us relax and to talk about difficult subjects more easily. Try using statements that summarize what they said, but maybe in some different words. I'm having a hard time not seeing my friends right now.
Yeah, it is really hard when you want to see people but can't because you want to stay safe.
Exactly. Martha's response told me that she was listening to me, and now I want to talk some more.
I also validated her feelings. It's okay for us to feel stressed, sad, burnt out, or angry. It can be hard when our children feel these ways, but we also know it's normal in life and that sometimes we can be supportive without solving the problem, especially when we can't solve the problem.
For many of our families, we're grieving, and grief comes in many different forms and for many different reasons. At the end of the conversation, communicate that they're safe and that an adult is in charge. Say something like, Mommy makes sure our family is safe, or doctors are telling us all the right steps to follow to keep us healthy. Or, we're doing the best that we can, and that's all that we can ask.
And because these times have asked a lot more from us, we may need other forms of connection, art, or ritual to help us cope. Mary and I will be posting methods we use to cope with right now in another video, so check out the link to that video too. Also, remember that School 17 has supports for your child and your family. We have partners ready to listen to your family's needs.
As always, House 17 will continue to update resources on the House 17 website. For example, we have a gym now. So stay well and come back soon.